Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Make sure things are adjusted. Okay, welcome back to my channel. I am here with your weekly tarot and oracle reading for the week of, actually it's a combo because it's for the week of June 6th. Wow, yes, definitely June 6th. But I'm also doing a reading for the new moon in Gemini, and this is also a solar eclipse, so we've got another eclipse for the new moon. Excuse me. So things are a little bit dry here. This always happens when I've done some cleansing of my area, and also I have a little bit of amber burning here. So I may occasionally pause to take a sip of water. So I hope you will indulge me some self-care while I do this. Okay, so first off, let's talk about Gemini, the new moon in Gemini. Well, let's talk about the sign itself. So Gemini is, it's an air sign. It's represented by the lovers in tarot. Symbolically, it's represented as twins. Gemini's good qualities are that they're very intelligent and very they're able to do a lot of things at the same time. They appear to do that at the same time, but that can also come to cause them much anxiety. They're a sign with a lot of anxiety. The chakra, I've got the candle lit here, but the chakra that is representative of Gemini is the throat chakra. And you can see here I'm having a little bit of, again, just having a little bit of a dry throat issue. Another sip of water. But the other thing is we're still in Mercury retrograde, so it's probably good that I'm experiencing this dry throat. Maybe I think about my words a little bit more and not say something. Even in my daily life, maybe I learn to, like, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to say the thing or certain things. But let's go ahead. I should have pulled this card out earlier. Let's go ahead and do the Moonology deck and find out about the new moon in Gemini. Here we go. Oh, it's right here. Nice. Nice. Okay, what else do we have? Blue moon, first quarter moon. Thought maybe we would have some sort of an eclipse. New moon eclipse. New moon eclipse. But we're having a solar eclipse. I don't know if this stands for a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, so I may actually take that back out. All right. Cool. So we've got new moon in Gemini and new moon eclipse. Interesting. So I'm not sure if this card is for solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. To me, it looks like lunar eclipse. So I'm going to leave this out. So we're just going to focus on the new moon in Gemini. As you can see, the twins here and the new moon. And again, when we talk about the new moon, we talk about, definitely we're talking about the feminine, but we're talking about the wisdom that has come about in the last few weeks. I don't know about you all, but it has been rough for me. I don't know if it's just the timing in my chart. It's been rough, but it's also been really, really good. Really, really good growth. So when I say rough, I'm actually talking about rough as in facing a lot of, I think, claiming a lot of internal shadow and trying to figure that all out in my head, but also in my body. Doing a lot of somatic expressing with my body. So that's going on. Thought you might want to know that. So let's go ahead and read this new moon in Gemini, and it says communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Communication is key. A successful relationship usually comes down to one thing: communication. And the new moon in Gemini card is all about the start of a new cycle for communicating with the person at the center of your question. If you guys are asking a question, talking things through is the answer to whatever it is you're asking about. If you can't talk to that person, you can journal about it to yourself. Emails, text messages, and all other forms of communication will also help you now. If the issue you're asking about concerns a sibling or neighbor, there's a new start coming, a time to wipe the slate clean and start over. This card could also suggest you've been too frivolous lately and need to get grounded again. But most importantly, drawing this card emphasizes the need to communicate. So to attune to this, get out your diary and your journal, write a list of all the people you love most, and see if you're prioritizing them. Additional meanings for this card: it's time to tell someone how you feel. Don't be all in your head and not in your heart. Someone might be flirting with you, and maybe read more books. Because of course, Gemini is the intelligent, takes in a lot of information. And it's all, actually, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So it's very interesting that this is the whole, Mercury retrograde in Gemini is a thing right now. So let's see. Gemini is a sign of communication and socializing of ideas and travel, and the energy around it and around this card, no matter when you pull it, is speedy, gossipy, and flirtatious. The new moon in Gemini is a wonderful time to get out and socialize. Also perfect timing because I think things are opening back up. So do as your boundaries and your free will allow. The new moon in Gemini is a wonderful time to get out and socialize. Gemini loves a chat. One thing to be aware of is this card can also indicate being mentally scattered. Daily meditations will help to unscramble crossed wires in your brain. And that's something that I've been doing, of course, doing a lot of is meditating, which I actually forgot to do for this session, and I think the last one. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a meditation to kick off your new moon in Gemini and solar eclipse. If you're in a space where you are sitting and not distracted and not driving, I invite you to find comfort in a seated position or a lying down position, whichever one you prefer. And when you are comfortably in that position, if you're seated, I suggest you find something with some back support. You can have your arms out in front of you on a table or in your lap, wherever you're seated. Just make sure you're comfortable and safe. And when you're ready, close your eyes. Breathe normally. Feel the natural rhythm of your breath rise and fall in your chest. And if possible, expand and deepen that breath into your belly. And imagine that breath as you inhale, reaching all the way down to your knees. When you exhale, exhaling out any unmoving, 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 and allowing your body to feel your breath communicating to it. And on this next inhale, just imagine it reaching deep down all the way to the toes. Feel that breath rejuvenating and revitalizing down into your feet. And when the breath comes up again, let that stuck energy out. Bring in new energy and allow it now to move from your neck all the way out to your fingertips. Maybe you feel your fingertips activated with this rush of breath and life. And on the next inhale, imagine it reaching all the way up to the top of your head, to the crown of your head. And as you inhale, imagine yourself straightening, or maybe even feel yourself straightening. Straighten your body. Feel the breath aligning your spine, your head, your hips, and your feet on the ground. Feel this loving, supportive life energy, the air around you, the air that represents Gemini, the newness of Gemini. Welcome it into your body. Welcome it into the space of you. Allow your body to claim the wondrousness of love that Gemini is bringing us in this new moon, and the wisdom coming in with this new moon. Embody, if you will, the energy of Gemini, and allow it in this reading to focus your attention on the next moon cycle and on the things that you would like to manifest in terms of socializing, relationships. What in your body needs to be rejuvenated by this Gemini season? Listen to your body now. What message does it have for you from Gemini? And if you don't have an answer, that's perfectly fine. Continue to listen throughout the next couple of days. Continue to allow your body to tell you what it needs this season, in this wonderful cycle, this wonderful eclipse. And when you are ready, wiggle your toes and your fingers. Maybe shift your hips a little bit in your seat. Feel yourself connecting back into your body. Open your eyes and come on back. All right. I hope you enjoyed that meditation. Coming back in to this reading. I'm going to set this aside and let's go ahead and pull some cards for, the new moon in Gemini. And it's also, I guess it's also your weekly reading. So this week I'm going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot. Haven't used that in a while. I figured I would pull it out for this reading. Let's see. I call on my divine masters and teachers to come into this reading with some guidance for those who are watching for the new moon in Gemini, June 2021. I also call on my ascended and enlightened ancestors to come into this reading with some guidance for those who are watching this channel. Okay, Spirit, do you have any guidance for those who are watching this channel? Thank you. Do you have any guidance? Oh, wow, that came out. Do you have any messages? Ooh, there you are. Thank you. Do you have any messages, Spirit? Thank you. Do you have any messages for those who are watching? Thank you, Spirit. All right. Cool. So let's see what we have here. We have the Son of Pentacles, which is also the Knight of Pentacles in Tarot. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Devil. And we have the Father of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Swords. Hopefully you can see that. Kind of ran off the screen, I think. Let me see if I can get this just spread out just a little bit better. Ooh, boo, boo. Okay. Let me go ahead and get a sip of water while I take a look at these cards. Okay. So it's interesting, I see the Son of Pentacles. I'm going to prop this up so that you all can participate. So I'm looking at the Son of Pentacles, and I see this pentacle passing in front of what could be a sun, could be a moon, but it's kind of showing, I think, a little bit of a solar eclipse. What do you guys think? I'm sorry, I say guys a lot. What do you all think? I think this is indicative of this solar eclipse or this eclipse season. And the Son of Pentacles is talking about, you know, when I see a court card where it's the Knight, I'm often thinking of someone who's coming to save the day. Kind of like, I wanted to say a Hail Mary when we're talking about, I don't know if you all have ever heard of a Hail Mary move or a Hail Mary pass or something like that, but it's basically like a, it's at a request. This is beyond the page stage where we're just receiving a message. This is actually an action that's attached to the pentacle. So for me, this talks about maybe we're thinking about a new job, new resource, or maybe something is being eclipsed out for something new to come in. I think that's actually a little bit more along the lines of it. Something is being eclipsed out. And sometimes, you know, when we're talking about pentacles, that's the earth. Those are the very things that we have a hard time letting go of because they're tangible, right? We have a hard time sometimes letting go of tangible things. But this is saying if you let go, there's something else coming forward. There's something else that's, honestly, you may not even have a choice. It's going to be eclipsed. Okay. Now, these two cards actually came out at the same time, the Son of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, which is why I feel very strongly that there is a beginning attached to this new resource that is coming to eclipse what you thought you knew, what you thought you were prepared for, that kind of thing. An Ace of Wands, aces in any sense are always divine gifts. This is from the divine. This is a divine action. And I always say divine action, but what I'm actually trying to convey is the understanding that this is almost as if a gift has fallen from the sky into your lap, an opportunity to take action. But it's kind of as if you actually have to be really paying attention, really focused to see that this is an opportunity and really understand what the opportunity means for you. And I don't know why I get this, but I also sense that I also sense, right, and I'm trying to speak in the language of ownership, right? Instead of saying a predictive language, talking in a way that is taking into accountability, this is talking about when we recognize the opportunity, are we prepared to take action? Are we prepared to accept that not only is something being eclipsed out, but are we recognizing when it's going to be a time to act? Are we recognizing the action that needs to be taken? Because what comes up next is the Ace of Swords, which is yet another divine, a divine gift, right? But this is the divine gift of truth. Maybe we are understanding an action that has eclipsed out something that we previously were holding on to that is a resource. And okay, I'm going to go back and talk about pentacles a little bit. Pentacles are jobs, money, real estate, resources. Because when we talk about pentacles, we talk about the earth, right? We talk about things that are right beneath our feet that we can feel, we can stand on. So going back to this Ace of Swords, this is about a truth, a message even. Maybe we're understanding that there is some sort of an opportunity coming in the form of a message. Yes, we might get a message. We're getting this divine truth. We're getting this divine opportunity to take action. Do we take action, or do we just recognize the truth? And I think, right, what is happening is that we're understanding that we have an action to take, but what is really important and what we should focus on is the truth of the situation. Not so much that we actually have to take action, but we have to recognize the truth behind the action, or the truth of the action that needs to be taken. Jeez. I hope you guys understand me. So, okay. Then we had the Devil card come out. And a lot of people get scared of the Devil card. But really, the Devil card is asking us, what have we tied ourselves to that is maybe, and again, maybe there's a truth coming out about a toxic relationship or a toxic situation that is possibly there's an opportunity to eclipse out of that situation. But we don't need to necessarily act on it. We just need to know the truth of it and accept the truth of it, that there is some sort of a toxic relationship either with ourselves or with people around us. And when we keep in mind with the new moon in Gemini that communication is key, we cannot lie to ourselves. Because this is the other thing about the devil. The devil is, I think the devil, I laugh because I think the devil is not the, what's the word? The devil is not the issue. The devil is in how we sometimes trick ourselves or fool ourselves to think that the situation that we're in is a good situation, right? The devil is how, if we look at the devil card and actually claim it, right? Let me pull out my card here, but my helper cards, I love these helper cards, right? So my helper card says that this is about attachment, learned helplessness, and creative energy. So that's at the psychic kind of origin, or the psychic embodiment of the devil card. What are we attached to? What are we in a situation where we have convinced ourselves to be helpless, or we've learned to just put up with something knowing that it's not good for us? But it's also the depth of creative energy, because once we realize we've hit this, when we're talking about the devil, once we realize we've hit this rock bottom, right? What is it going to take for us to move forward? What is it going to take for us to move forward? Once we have moved into the full moon phase, what action is it that we're going to take to better ourselves out of a situation where we have either become overattached, or again, this learned helplessness. We've taught ourselves to be helpless in order to get forward in a situation. How is that possible? All right. The last card to come out was the Father of Cups. The Father of Cups is, I think that's part of the guidance here. And I know this is not like a, snap, case closed kind of a reading. But I think the message here is to really go deep into understanding what needs to be eclipsed out, understanding what action needs to be taken, but instead of taking that action, just recognize the truth, right? Recognize the truth of what needs to be done about something that is toxic, or something that you've hit rock bottom about. And because it's Gemini, and I really do think, I know I say a lot of the times that this is relation, but a lot of our lives are about relationships. And it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It could be a work relationship. It could be, maybe it's an employer-employee relationship. But either way, there's no action to be taken now. There's just an understanding of the truth. And so here is where the Father of Cups kind of confirms that. The Father of Cups, while this is a very nurturing person, this is also someone that keeps their emotions very guarded. So as we move out of Gemini season and into Cancer season, this is where we start guarding our feelings closely, and when we're talking about Father of Cups, this is the King of Cups. This is someone who absolutely has their emotional stuff together. And so this might even be a time for you to consider therapy. It might be a time for you to consider owning your part in what could have been a toxic situation for your own good, for you to become this King of Cups, this become the, have this overview and understanding of your emotional life as you understand it. Like, you can get to this point by talking it out with someone, but ultimately you're going to have to be the one to own every single part of that, your role in it, whether or not you want to stay in it, and just understanding, okay, I don't know if I've told this story before, but I have this thing where in the past, I don't do it all the time, but whenever I go to, whenever you go to the casino, right? I've gone to the casinos maybe a few times here and there, but every time I go in with once I have, I go in knowing that I'm going to lose, right? Knowing that I'm going to lose, because there's a greater chance going into the casino that I'm going to lose versus win, which is okay with me because I understand those are the odds, right? And so that's the way that, that's kind of the approach in this situation of, I've gone into this situation with my head up, my eyes open, and I understand, going into this casino or to this risky, or at least risky to you situation, I understand at what point I'm like, okay, I'm done. It's time to go, right? So it's actually really looking at what your boundaries are too. Really, what are your emotional boundaries? What are your, what are the consequences for other people overstepping those boundaries? If there are no consequences, then how are you protecting yourself? How are you having fulfilling relationships? How are you creating emotional resource for yourself? And so that's where I look at the Father of Cups here again as the stronghold of someone who knows when it's time to say, deuces and roll out when the time comes. Someone who is guarding their emotional life very closely, and someone who has an understanding of their own emotional, physical, personal boundaries, spiritual boundaries even. Wow. So at the bottom of the deck we have again, as I mentioned, the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords, to me, every time I see it in this deck, it screams to me, kill your sacred cows. So it could be that your most, the relationship that you relied on the most, or at least the person that you always knew, right? The person that you always knew yourself to be, you're going to have to allow truths to come in and really set you straight about. And I look at, so before anyone misinterprets, I look at this cow as the old inner self, the self that has been hit over and over and over again with swords, aka truths and clarity, but yet has done nothing. And that just kind of confirms in this reading that it's time to finally accept all these truths that have come in over and over and over again to tell you, look, this is the truth. This is the truth of the situation. You can accept it, or you can continue to, allow these truths to keep coming in and knocking you down, or you can start over again, because you can. And it's time to start building up that game plan for what it's going to look on the other side here for you in this new moon in Gemini. This, because of course it's a new moon, it's a time to plan again. All right, let's get some guidance to get you on your way. I think I want to do Mystical Shaman Oracle today. Let's see what the cards have to offer us for guidance. Yes, Mystical Shaman Oracle cards. And these cards, I pull them upright or reverse because both have a message. So I call on my divine masters and teachers to come into this reading with guidance for those who are watching my channel for this new moon in Gemini solar eclipse. Wow, that just set all on fire as soon as I went into this guidance. This new moon, look at that, you got twin flames there. Maybe you're gonna mint your twin flame. I don't even want to get into that on this channel, but yeah, wow, look at all that. Oh my gosh, let me put this out, guys. It's a little dangerous. Oh, it's so freaky. Oh my gosh, I just kind of went up like random. Okay. Here we go. Can we get some guidance for the new moon in Gemini, please? Can we get some guidance? Oh, wow. Oh, all these? Whoa, this seems like a lot. How many minutes am I at? Oh my God. No, I only need one card. Sorry, Spirit, I just need one card, please, if you could. One card, some guidance. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. The rainbow. Well, it is Pride Month. Isn't that cool? Okay, the rainbow, card number 41, and it is upright. Okay, 41. And happy Pride, first of all. Let's see, 41. Okay, the rainbow, and as you can see, we have like, it looks like a moon or a sun with another moon or a sun with some sort of a parrot flying across, leaving a rainbow trail. That's cool. We've got a little blue dot up here. Lots of overlapping things. Okay, so the rainbow symbolizes the 7 steps of a true spiritual path, which manifests as the colors of the 7 chakras. In the Himalayas, the rainbow body is seen as the full realization of our essence. The rainbow also represents the bridge between the physical and the spiritual worlds. At the end of our lives, we can journey across the rainbow bridge to the highest heavenly realms. When the rainbow appears, it is an affirmation that all is well and that you are in right relationship with Spirit. The invitation. The rainbow tells you that the end of the storm is near. Persevere and remember that it is darkest just before the dawn. It's the new moon. It is darkest. Do not give up hope. Things are about to take a positive turn. Listen for the morning rooster that announces the coming of the dawn, even while the night is still darkest. But do not claim victory yet or let your guard down fully. I think that's the whole entirety of this reading. Listen, persevere, listen, don't claim victory yet, don't take action yet. What you're doing right now, it's kind of like a spiritual strategizing. It's basically fortifying your deepest inner self. This is really where, and I've heard a lot of talk about shadow work lately, not just because I am a practitioner now, but a lot of things that have been coming up have been all about shadow work, do your shadow work, do your shadow work. So if you are interested in a shadow work session, I call it shadow retrieval, shadow work, shadow retrieval. If you want to have the beginning steps of that kind of an experience, let me know. It really is a meditative experience where you delve deeply into your body and ask it to speak to you. And it is very transformative. It's very, very transformative. And I would love to have you. So that is your reading for the week of June 6th and also the new moon in Gemini solar eclipse. And thank you so much for being here today. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks. Bye.